This video is going to break down exactly what you need to do if you want to hit your first 1000 subscribers on YouTube without burning yourself out, without trying to do something that you don't want to do, without dancing on YouTube if that is not something that you want to do, and really getting into the mindset of what it actually takes to become a creator who just creates content on repeat without burning themselves out and without doubting themselves. So in this anti-strategy, I will share with you what you can do to go viral and create a personal brand on YouTube without following Ali Abdal or Tom Nosk or Alex Hormozy. You don't need to listen to any of the advice. This video will give you all the information that you need in order to build your personal brand on YouTube. And I can tell this to you from example because I was able to go from working at Petro-Canada 5 years ago, working in a gas station and really doubting myself, to starting a very good job in a tech company where I make like over 6 figures. And at the same time, I was able to build a successful YouTube channel that has over 350,000 views. I can link it in the description. You guys can check it out. And in addition to that, I was also able to build a portrait photography business and also able to get clients for that through Instagram. So I know a thing or two about how to build a personal brand in a sustainable way without burning yourself out. And of course, in the journey, there have been a lot of learnings that I have gathered, and I will be happy to share those with you as well. So you don't make the same mistakes that I do, and I will save you 5 years of your time if you watch just this video and just do exactly what I did. You will be creating one video every single day, just on repeat. So let's get into it. Why I call it anti-strategy is because I think a lot of people try to give you things that worked for them, and just because a type of content that worked for someone else doesn't mean it's going to work for you. So I'm just flipping this whole strategy away. And so my goal for you is to teach you the mental frameworks that you need to use in order to create content so you don't quit and you don't burn out. Because if you can stop yourself from burning out, then surely you're going to be successful. So let's get into the first point. Before you even start your YouTube channel, the very first thing you need to ask yourself is, what is your purpose? And you need to ask yourself, why are you even doing this? So the reason right now that I'm creating this video is because I used to be very introverted, and I was able to demonstrate and prove to myself that even if you're an introvert person, you can still build YouTube videos, you can still get a lot of views, and you can still help people. And I'll give you an example. So the YouTube channel that I have, I post hiking content there. And last year in August, I was out on a mountain hiking, and I ran into someone on the top of the mountain, and they told me that they recognized me from the YouTube video, and my YouTube video helped them prepare for that hike. So that gave me so much joy, because that is exactly why I started the YouTube channel. So my why to start the YouTube channel when I started posting hiking content was to help people who want to go on hikes, who feel overwhelmed, can watch my videos and then be in a better position to prepare and get a better idea about the hikes. So that was one of my reasons. Now, having a why will really help you, because if you have a big enough reason, then when you start posting content and things get hard, this purpose or this why is going to motivate you to keep going. If you have a shallow goal, let's say if you want to create a YouTube channel just to monetize it, I mean, there's nothing wrong with it if you really want to do that. But I truly believe that creating YouTube videos just to monetize it, it's probably not the best idea, because money in and of itself is not a deep enough purpose or goal. And a lot of times when we chase money, we just end up not being able to reach that goal. But if you have a purpose that's bigger than money itself, then it makes it easier for you to keep going when things get hard. And one way you can figure out what your purpose is, you can think about 3 things. So this is what they call the big 3 for determining your purpose. So you have to think about someone close to you. Do you want to build success for your family? And think about one person. Maybe it can be your mom, it can be your sibling, it can be your dad, it can even be your best friend. Like, who are you trying to do this for other than yourself? Because when we have ourselves as the goal, a lot of times there are chances that we can quit. But if we are doing it for someone else, that usually helps stay consistent a lot more. So one part of that is like, who are you doing this for? Like, immediately. And then the second thing is like, you have to think about in what form do you want to serve the society. So one of my biggest purposes is when I can like monetize my brand, I want to build a dog shelter in my hometown in India where I am from, because my family like really loves dogs, and we also have a lot of stray dogs. Like in India, it's really popular, it's common. So we feed the dogs, and I want to give a dog shelter as a present to my mom and to do something for dogs so she can like really feel fulfilled, because she always says that if she had a lot of money, she would want to do something and help the dogs. And so that can be the second purpose. And then the third purpose is, what kind of legacy do you want to leave behind? Like, you can, of course, get popular and, have a lot of followers, and maybe you are 1-2 years into it and you're miserable because you just did not have like a deep enough reason why. And so imagine that if you were to get everything that you wanted out of YouTube, and you just got everything you wanted, and then you die, like, what kind of legacy would you leave behind? So think about these three things. So it's going to be like your family member, how you're gonna help the society, and what kind of legacy do you want to leave behind. So once you have thought about this will act as an anchor so you don't quit when things get hard. Now, once you have figured out your purpose, the next thing what you might want to do is to become. Now, after that, once you have figured out your purpose, the next thing you might want to do is develop an anti-skill mindset. So what do I mean by that? See, when we start a YouTube channel, what is our first impulse? We want to learn how to use CapCut. We want to learn, how to use DaVinci Resolve. We want to learn how to edit, figure out what are the best hooks, the editing skills, the perfect selfie stick. Like right now I'm recording a video from iPhone, and I do have a professional camera. I can show it to you right now if you want. But my point is, we think about everything that would make a video aesthetically beautiful. So the packaging, the perfect title, thumbnail, hooks, and all those things. And we go so deep into that we forget that the real thing that the viewer wants is actually like good value. So if you're providing good value to someone, you don't need to learn editing. You don't need to learn, you don't need to have the perfect camera, and you can just start with your knowledge and use your knowledge as an anchor to share and create the YouTube videos, sharing the knowledge. And this imperfect, and then once you develop the anti-skill mindset, all you need to do is you need to start taking imperfect action. So I will give you an example. I had a friend who is a life coach. She is a friend, and I also did some coaching sessions with her on the mindset. So she basically was waiting to learn editing so she can start posting reels on Instagram, because all the reels that she was watching was about, like what is the perfect storytelling and the perfect frames. And she was like, I need to record a lot of B-rolls and I need to have a good mic. Like, these are literally all the things that she mentioned. And I'm pretty sure like this is resonating with you as well. If you are one of those people who is paralyzed due to not being able to take action, due to overthinking, procrastination, and all those things, I'm pretty sure you will find it relatable as well. And so during our coaching, we went deep into her mindset, and we did some sessions, because I'm doing like a mindset coaching course as well with the ICF, which is an accredited institution. And we got her to a point where she was able to take imperfect action So she literally started sitting in front of the camera and providing value, like talking about the services she provides, her unique takes on the industry. She talked about her career, she talked about her routine. So she started providing a lot of value to her audience without really editing, without really doing any of those things. And she was able to post for 30 days straight. And before that, she had not posted anything for 5 years. So from not being able to post anything for 5 years to posting for 30 days straight. This is the kind of mindset that helped unlock it. So developing an anti-skill mindset. When you think about an anti-skill mindset, I also want you to journal maybe, or ask yourself, like go deep in yourself and ask yourself, what are you truly good at? Are you truly good at storytelling? Are you truly good at editing? Maybe then that is something that you can do. Like, what are you really good at that you can actually like do well on YouTube, with. So going deep into that and then leading with that instead of trying to learn everything and not taking the action, because you feel that the thing that you are lacking is the thing that's going to help you. So the only thing that's going to help you move faster without burnout is taking imperfect action and getting better and just leaning into your strengths and things that you're good at. This is the second thing. The third thing is, once you start posting, so let's say you figured out your purpose, you figured out the format that you're going to post in, and not getting stuck on the skills, gaining new skills. After that, I just want you to start posting right away. And I mean, of course, if you have like really deep like mindset issues, you feel like you're not good enough, you have self-esteem issues, you doubt yourself a lot, and you still can't get over this phase, I offer one-to-one consultations as well. And I know, of course, through YouTube, it's like a big step. So if you don't want to book a call with me, like I totally get it. In that case, you can like sign up for my 90-day mental reset email list. And you can find the link in the description. So you'll get like a free guide where I share 7 mental reframes that you can use. So it's like you will get a lot of value from that, and you will be able to figure out what is the kind of mental reframes that you need to have in order to be able to actually take action and not get stuck in this mental loop. So one of the example could be that you feel that I don't know enough in order to post videos. And a good mental reframe would be that, well, do you know something that you can teach your younger self? And so if you can share whatever wisdom you have learned even in the last 1 year, then I'm pretty sure, everyone has experiences in life, and there is someone who is in that spot where you were, and you can provide value to them. So that is one example, but you can sign up for my email, and I will share you the guide. So that will be really helpful to you as well. Moving on. So I want you to ignore all the noise and then just start taking imperfect action. And when I say ignore the noise, what I mean is, don't open YouTube, don't open Instagram, don't follow competitors from your niche, like not do any of that initially. Just lean inwards and think about the reason why you start YouTube channel and what are some things that you're good at. So you lean into your strengths and you figure out, let's say you love watching sports and you want to make a channel talking about football, or like, for example, I love UFC, So there's like so many YouTubers out there who just give their commentary on the fights. So whatever it is that you're good at, that you want to provide value of, like really be honest with yourself and ask yourself, like, is this something you're truly good at? And if the answer is yes, then you can start creating content related to that. If you're a creative person, I'm pretty sure you're good at more than one thing. So maybe you're good at like 2-3 things. For example, me, I enjoy photography. I enjoy videography. Like I have a professional camera and I love taking B-rolls when I go for hikes. I love hiking, camping. So I love creating outdoor content. And that is something that I really enjoy as well. And then another thing that I really enjoy is I love personal finance. So I love investing. I used to have a YouTube channel related to that as well, where I used to teach people all that. And I also love, like really enjoy psychology And so, and I also love working out. And I have had like different Instagram accounts related to all of these. So, figuring out what are some things that you're good at, and then going deep inwards and asking yourself, what is one thing that, let's say, if someone came to me and put a gun like to my head and they were like, you can only pick one thing, like which one would you choose? And also asking yourself that, is this something that I can do every single day? So, I'll give you an example. Let's say you love hiking like me, and you want to document your life and you want to like create content related to hiking, which is fine, like you can do it. But then you have to ask yourself, can I monetize this brand? Can I create content around it consistently so people can watch and so I can provide value to people? Probably not, unless you're hiking every single week, right? So there's going to be a limitation because then the content will be based on how frequently you can go hiking. So instead, you can think about something that you can do sustainably and easily without burning out, because that has to be your biggest goal. It's like, what is the type of content that's not going to burn you out, or the type of content that you can create like consistently? Because let's say you get injured and you can't go hiking, like how can you do that? So this is one thing. So figuring out one thing that you are good at and that you can also do sustainably. Now we have our purpose. We know what type of content we're going to create. After that, we will be looking at sustainable integration. So I'm pretty sure if any of you are creative people and you're trying to like build your way up, I'm pretty sure you are either a student or you already have a 9 to 5 and you spend some time commuting, or you have your assignments, or you have like a second job. So your time is like really occupied doing a lot of things. And still you have this drive to like build something for yourself, and you want to like create content despite having a busy routine. So the only way you can do it is if you're able to do a sustainable integration in your routine. So not going against the flow, against the wheel, not trying to reinvent your routine and make it around content, but rather than integrating content creation into your routine. So there are a couple ways to do that. You can basically do something called habit stacking. They talk about it in Atomic Habits as well. That's where I learned it from. So for me, I usually go for walks, and I used to like listen to a lot of podcasts before, but when I started this YouTube channel, what I started doing was every once in a while, like every other day when I would go for walks, I would just not carry my AirPods. And because I would not carry my AirPods, what would happen is I get all this inspiration on the type of content that I want to create. So today I was walking and I was like, maybe I should create a video on like the real, like the anti-strategy or the mindset that people need to have in order to create content. So that's where I got this idea from during my afternoon walk. And then sometimes when I get time after lunch, I usually do my video recordings at that time. But the other days, let's say it's really sunny and I want to go out and I don't want to record video, then I do it after dinner, which is essentially what I'm doing right now. And it's also Friday, I don't work tomorrow, so it kind of works out well. So figuring out what would be a time where you can create content every single day and linking it to some activity that you already do. It could be right after having your morning coffee, it could be after lunch, it could be after dinner, like whatever. It could be maybe once a week, every weekend, or every weekend you can record like 3 videos. So you can figure that out. But instead of changing your entire routine and becoming like a content creator, because then you're gonna burn out because it's not real in that moment, and you're putting so much pressure and changing your entire routine, you just focus on sustainable integration and find out a way to stack the content creation process in your daily routine. So once you do that, after that, what's gonna happen is, let's say you start creating videos. Now, of course, everyone loves attention, like to an extent. So when you get likes, when you get views, it feels good, right? Like you feel seen. You feel that the hard work that you're doing, it's slowly paying off. And what that does is that motivates you. And there are a lot of people who create the video, and within the first 2 videos, they get monetized. Then the videos get a lot of views. But then there are are a lot of people who maybe post 100 videos and they still don't get any views. So this is where monitoring your energy is going to play a really big role. What do I mean by that? There are two types of energies and every person has it. There's something called dark energy. And this is concept that I go really deep into with my clients as well. But just to summarize it in this video, there will be days where you post a video and you wake up the next day and maybe you gain 5 subscribers and you'll feel like really happy, You'll be really positive minded and you will have all the motivations. But then there will also be days where you're not motivated because you have posted 5 videos and maybe they're not doing well. And at that time, what you will need is you will need to really dig deep and go into your dark energy. So dark energy is like being able to like plow through, whatever you are feeling and just still do regardless. If you don't feel like working, you still utilize your discipline, your drive, going back to your purpose, why you started it. Even if you don't feel like recording videos, you still do it because you chose to do it. But if you always stay in dark energy, you can burn out because no one is able to stay like that for so long, like we are not Jeff Bezos or Elon Musk. Like, let's be realistic here. When we're starting out, we need to really prepare ourselves with the fact that we are in it for the long game. And I think a lot of content creators who give advice, who have already made it and who have like these big teams who write scripts for them, who record videos and edits, and literally like they have a person for every single thing, then they give you the advice to just try hard, to just like keep going. I think it's kind of dumb. So knowing when to lean into your dark energy, but also when you're posting videos and, sometimes you don't feel like doing it, like being honest with yourself and leaning into your light energy. So what do I mean by light energy? Like maybe you go for walks, you journal, maybe you think about content creation ideas, as you're journaling, or you just take a 1 week break and you decide that, okay, I'm just going to take a break and that's okay. So noticing when you want to take things light and when you want to go really dark. And there are a lot of creators, like successful people who take 6 months off. So 6 months, like they are working on the business backend, they're building like offers, they're building marketing campaigns and all those things, and maybe even travel, right? And then for 6 months, they are, creating content, they are like being more extroverted, they are building teams, and they are, just like constantly like trying to sell and do ad campaigns and all that. But figuring out how to balance these energies. So the classic like yin and yang, and being honest with yourself, because if you try to force yourself to do something, you can maybe force yourself to do it like for 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and then you're gonna be miserable, and then you're gonna hate yourself, and then you're gonna quit, and then all the hard work that you did is just gonna go down the drain. So it doesn't make sense to do that. So noticing your energy, it's going to be really important. And no content guru, I bet you would have watched a lot of content and no one would have told you about this concept. And by the way, like subscribe to my channel because I really am trying to like provide a lot of good value to you. So if you find it helpful, please like so the video can reach out to more people, and only then will I move to the next point. So like the video, and after that, let's go. Once you have figured out what kind of energies like you want to utilize or derive or invite into every single day, how you want to show up. After that, I want you to do something called sabotage mapping. This is also something I do with one-on-one clients, but I'll explain it to you what it means. So sabotage mapping is essentially there is something called, I'll tell you the name of this test. I recommend everyone to take it. It's called positive intelligence. So everyone has 7 saboteurs and 3 sages. So 7 saboteurs are the negative voices that we have in our head. 3 sages are the 3 wise voices. So if you think that you're not good enough to create content, like trust me, like you're not the only one. Literally so many people go through those voices. It's actually so universal. It's ingrained in our DNA. And this test actually tells you what kind of saboteur vices are the strongest in you. So, for example, one of them is a procrastinator. Another one is a victim. So, people who always like to complain, but there's like reasons behind it. Maybe something happened in your childhood, or maybe you were bullied in school, or maybe some people rub you the wrong way and took advantage of you. So, maybe that caused you to become a victim. But there's totally like 7 stages, 7 saboteurs and 3 stages. So when you take this test, it will help you figure out which sabotage pattern is like the strongest in you. One is perfectionist. The other one is hypervigilant. So hypervigilant are people who are typically like they are good planners and they want to make sure that everything is perfect. Going back to this point, right? Like they want to make sure they are perfect at editing, at storytelling and everything, single thing, and only then will they start. So it's actually a type of self-sabotage pattern because they almost like are paralyzed by the fear of people judging them, or like fear of people making them out or figuring them out as a failure or as a fraud. And so they like this is also a type of self-sabotage. Another one is hyperachiever, so always being obsessive with always doing everything that like totally perfectly and never leaving room for doing something that's kind of like good enough, and still keeping the momentum going. So that is also a form of self-sabotage. So you can take this quiz. You can also sign up for my email and I'll share you some tips on how to do sabotage mapping really well. There's like a whole framework for this. So once you have figured out what form of sabotage you have, then it'll make it easier for you to recognize when you hear those voices. And you can like reframe those voices because you can tell yourself that okay, I hear you, I understand why you're doing it, I know you're trying to protect me, but I'm still going to take the action. So if you get a voice telling you that we are not ready, or I need more information to act, or like you need to be better at it before taking action, then what you can do is you can reframe it. And this is the key part, because once you know sabotage, you also have to reframe it. So you can reframe that voice and you can tell yourself that I understand that you are serving a purpose, but I'm going to do this regardless, because the only way that I get all the skills is when I act. So you can negotiate with your sabotage voice. Once you figure out your sabotage patterns, or you have your purpose, you're gonna create content without waiting to be perfect. You lean into your strengths. You are able to integrate content creation in a way that's unique to you. That's not unique to Ali Abdal. That's not unique to Alex Hormozi. That's not unique to me. Unique to you, like whatever works with your routine. And by the way, this also means that if you only have 4 hours in a week, then you're gonna not spend 8 hours editing a video. You just have to do something that works and that is good enough, because the chances that you can sustain that are way higher than you making a perfect video over 2 weeks and never really finishing it and then just quitting, So you do that. And then the last one, and this is so underrated again, I am surprised how so many content gurus don't talk about it, and which is accountability. Accountability is so underrated. Once you are creating content, of course, there's going to be days where you are not motivated. And this is why I feel like something called, let me wipe it so I can write it better. By the way, I can share the link to the sabotage kit as well, the quiz. So, you can check it in the description, or let me know in the comment if I forget. For accountability, there is something called being in the proximity. So basically, you will want to, as you're creating content, you might want to find people who are doing the same things that you're doing. So you can try to find other creators. You can try to find other maybe communities or Facebook groups or Instagram accounts, or maybe you can just take the initiative and get one, Telegram or WhatsApp group going, or 4 or 5 creators who are already posting content, or who are also trying to post content, and you can hold each other for accountability. I literally post 3 videos a week because I have a small bet with my friend who also makes backpack related content on Instagram. And if I don't post 3 videos in a week, like I have to pay him $10, and the same goes for him. So having some sort of accountability helps you stay consistent when things get hard, when you don't feel like doing it, when you're not getting views and you just start doubting yourself, and when the saboteurs like they really start getting heavy on you because you're not seeing results and you're questioning yourself and your why doesn't feel strong enough in that moment to help you keep going. So accountability will help you a lot. So for staying accountable, you can find some friends, join some communities, and find ways to stay accountable. And you can also vocalize your goals. Like I'm currently doing 100 days of gym, and today I'm at my day 95. And I'm like a type of person who is really good with external accountability. So if I set up an accountability buddy, and for the gym, I'm posting stories every single day. So just of me in the gym. And because I know I need to post a story every single day, it has motivated me to keep going. And I have already made it to like 95 days to working out, so I know it works. And by the way, there are like different types of people. So some people are really able to motivate themselves internally, so they have inner motivation. Other person need like external accountability, so there's nothing wrong with it. Like you have to be honest with yourself. And I know, like, I love David Goggins, and he tells you that you have to like find motivation and you have to dig deep. I get it, but sometimes I also think like it's not that serious, like do whatever works for you, and trying to find a way that keeps you motivated regardless of whatever anyone else tells you. What is the best way to do according to them. So leaning into that. And I promise you, if you follow this sort of mental map or framework, then you will be posting videos, 1 to 2 videos every week easily. And if you're like me, and if you work from home, or you maybe have a little bit more time in your hand, you might even be able to post a video every single day. So this kind of strategy is going to really help you stay consistent. So my invitation to you is, I have 3 invitations if you have stick till the end. First is signing up for my email, because I will keep you motivated, I will hold you accountable, and I will send you an email every single day checking with you if you posted content. And you can also subscribe to my channel because I will provide you a lot of value. But the second point is really, as you start creating content, I want you to always remember to lean in with a sustainable mindset. So always like remembering that the video doesn't need to be perfect. The video doesn't need to hook the right audience. The video doesn't need to have like the perfect like 5-second storytelling, at the starting, or, the perfect call to actions and all of that. Initially, your goal, at least for the first, people say 100 videos. I would say, like, to be honest, like for the first 20 videos, at least, should be to just get into the habit and building your routine. And once you have done that, then you can get into, like the other nitty-gritty of things. And you will also figure out what is the type of flow or content that you love creating. And only then go into like all the big content guru advice, who tell you how to create content. I just think it's much more important to be honest with yourself and leaning with your purpose. If you're leaning with your purpose, if you're doing all these things, then you will be able to create content on repeat. And then the last and most important thing is finding an accountability buddy. If you can do these 3 things, I mean these 7 tips, but if you can remember the last 3 things, so signing up for my email list, and like leaning with your honesty, and you're being honest with the type of content that is more sustainable to you, and then having an accountability framework of sorts, it's going to really help you. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I hope you enjoyed this video. By the way, let me know what topic or what are your biggest struggles as it comes to creating content, so I can give you some mental frameworks related to that as well. And I'll see you in the next video.